Ndiyabulisa kuni bamameli nanabukeli emakhaya. Welcome to Unmasking African Truths by African Hidden Voices. I am your host, Upalisa. African Hidden Voices is a research institution that aims to retrace the steps of African indigenous spiritual heroes and heroines. If you have missed topics from our previous segments, please do visit and subscribe to YouTube channel at African Hidden Voices. Kule veki, we speak about spirituality, a fundamental element in an African woman's life. Today's topic, I have with me Imboni Igogo, Dr. Uzuleza Khadebe. Imboni is an African indigenous spiritual guider. Imboni is a qualified herbalist and a qualified theologian. Imboni is also the founder and leader of an African indigenous spiritual institution in the Revelation Spiritual Home. South Africa has dubbed August as the month for women following the heroism of abantu abangomama back in 1956, where march are fighting for the rights and liberation of abantu abangomama. Today I'm going to share a research study that was conducted to assist kule topic esiqala ngayo namhlanje. Study sakhona was written by Usharita Forrest. It is titled Spirituality, Not Religion, is critical to Black women's well-being. A number of studies have suggested that religion plays a critical role in Black Americans' mental health and life satisfaction, aiding their ability to cope with personal and societal stresses. However, a new study indicates that spirituality, rather than religiosity, may be the element that is essential to Black women's psychological well-being. The researchers found that spirituality fully mediates the relationships between religiosity, mental health, and life satisfaction. Women who possess higher degrees of spirituality had better mental health and were more satisfied with their lives. Spirituality's full mediation of the relationship between religiosity and life satisfaction suggests that participants' relationships to other people and to divine beings, along with meaning-making process, may be the underlying mechanism that connects religion to mental health and life satisfaction, Reid said. Based on our findings in the current sample, positive psychology well-being for Black women may be better accounted for directly by spirituality than by religiosity. As the research suggests that spirituality yiyo enceda kakhulu in the struggles that abantu abangomama face in today's societies. So umbuzo enizawubuza ngoku kuyo Imboni Dr. Uzuleza Khadebe ukuthi, why is it important that although abantu abangomama, particularly in this month, we are fighting for the political equality and the societal inclusion of abantu abangomama in society, why is it important that spirituality funeka kube yiyo into ephambili? Why is it important that women must take care of spirituality sabo?
No, masibonge sibingelele bobonke abasilalele. So before ngikhohlwe, of course I fully agree no Tamilia Reid. And I think something that is quite very interesting in this article is that new research now shows that spirituality rather than religion. Okay? So I think it goes back to, of course, what I'm always saying and what I'm always teaching about spirituality, religion. And also it goes back to prove the point again, as African people, we were not a religious people. We were spiritual people. And we practice spirituality, not religion. Even not what is being termed as African religion. And actually, for me, there is no such called African religion. It's, again, Europeans and European scholars who wanted to force the term irreligion. And when they saw what we were practicing African spirituality, they saw with Lendo, it's more Afrocentric. It's not Eurocentric as religion, yeah. But still insisted on the name African, say born and years, but still said non-religion like ours. They are so stubborn and arrogant that abafunu ukuthi into yini, what name or how can we term it? Etc. So it's proving because new studies, meaning that older studies were more Eurocentric based, meaning that they promote more the religion part of things. Now the new studies, things have changed now. New studies now. We have also more African researchers now, etc. Now, bayabona ukuthi no man, spirituality exists. Because before, it was always as if spirituality, it's not alone. It's something in religion. And men still believe that. Whereas now, studies are showing that they are able to separate the two. Spirituality is independent, is one thing. Irreligion is another thing. They are not the same. So I think that I needed to say that. Now, bakhuluma ukuthi why should they be lokhuzana? But let me also mention ukuthi it's unfortunate the world, including South Africa, where everything is being politicized. Youth politicized. June youth, Maupegelo youth is politicized. June 16. Women, they marched. Everything is politicized. We are politically captured because this removes all other parts of society. Amakhosi, they are part abayenzile liberation, the African people, spiritual people. Ikhipha wonke umuntu vele nje ibeke all heroes to be politics. That's why most of our holidays are politically based and all heroes are politically based. So why should women be spiritual? I think oqala, remember, women are a symbol of transporting life from the spiritual dimension to the physical dimension. They are the transporters. There's no private jet. No matter how much money you have, awukwazi uqasha private jet ihambe yolanda umoya ezweni lomoya. It has to come through a womb. Okay? What we call a womb, which is sacred. Now, because women are transporters of a life, therefore women need to be spiritual people because that transport has to be sacred. That transport is sacred. That transport has to be clean. That transport has to be in a very high level of spirituality. Because if it is not, the transport can contaminate the spirit from izwe lomoya mayiza la umoya. That is why if one does a research, which I did not do, but in my years of ukwenza lo msebenzi, I've met people who say they believe they were born criminals. They were born rapists. They were born killers. They were born psychopaths or born. And mabesho, they would say my parents were the same. And when you follow and begabazal babu, probably they were the same. And they'll tell you how they started killing at a young age. They loved to see, by the way, parts of his signs of psychopaths or these killers was bizarre. Psychopaths, but there are these killers who kill all the time. There's a term, psychological term, ababa payona, serial killers. They will tell you when I was born, I remember when I was very, very young age. While other kids were playing near moto, nani mina, I was killing insects, and I loved to see an insect dying. I killed a dog, and I loved to see the dog dying, gasping, umoye puma. This is what made me happy and intrigued. And from there, I started killing that, and then I got my first victim, and I loved to see my victim, umoye puma, like that dog. All these stories, I mean, they are over on TV, those stories. And, of course, clinical, serial killer, psychopath, what, iphelele lapho. But most of abanye babu yubheke umtholo ukuthi umunye ibe khona umuntu onje family. Or other serial rapists. They are serial rapists. Bayaboshwa 15 years, makephuma. And when you talk to them, they'll tell you, look, not really, I'm a human being. I don't like to do it, but it happens. I have to do it, and etc. Religion is a very more emdaga. Of course, it's a spiritual issue, but not just more emdaga. Remember, more emdaga, we define it in many ways. Even no moya womuntu ongalunganga, kumoya omdaga lo. But in religion, two kumoya omdaga is just external beings that are there. Even a human being, maungulile, umoya wako ungumoya omdaga wena self. Umoya omdaga. So while umoya walo muntu emdaga so you'll find with the parents were like that. in other circumstances, not in all situations, it's because of you'll find ukuthi the transporters, which were the women in that family bloodline, Gabantu were not careful about a sacred place yabo, called the womb, the transport of life. They lived certain lives, they did certain things. And because of that, contaminated the spirits, mazfigala, zafigela pez, were contaminated wombs and women, etc. It's a long list, but I think everybody's getting the idea of where I'm going. So women need to be sacred because of that. Number one, for me, they are the transporters. You know, not only for them, just as a woman, they must understand the role yabo. Two, women are also the center of the home. Umuzi awumi impela without a woman, and when there is a woman, if she's bad, that house will be a mess. But when she's good, the house is good. So she's the center of the home. Indoda, yes, he is the leader. He's the natural leader of the house, but the woman is the center. Everything evolves around the woman. You know, even the man, she can influence the man into a particular way, good or bad. She can influence the kids, umama, to become good or bad. So she's the center of the home. So if the woman is not spiritual, it means that nomuzi, likely that house cannot be able to be a good home. So she influences. And those are the two main reasons why I can say that women need to be spiritual. They need to be spiritual people, you know, highly spiritual people, because of, I think, these two main reasons. Thing is, will be, of course, then any other matter issues will fall in, but the two main reasons, they are the transporter of life. Two, they are the centers of the home. The real power in it lies on the woman, not really on the man, because a man is really the natural leader. He leads a home, but the real power. That's why I always say sometimes, indoda can change a woman, but its chances of who can change another are highly on a woman. A woman can completely change a man. A man can try, but not always, because the real power in is the woman. She's the center of the home. Everything that happens within the home, the woman is the power. If she is not spiritual, then chances of that home, they will not be. So it's not only about social issues and whatever the other matters and political matters. Women were the first to do that. Women deserves equal. Women must be spiritual because mainly of these two reasons.
Sibonga kakhulu kuyo imboni njengoba sesichazisele ukuthi when we learn to be spiritual and embrace spirituality sethu, I think wonke umuntu uzoya-understand i-role yakhe in societies, and there'll be less conflict in our societies. Thank you so much for joining in today. Please join us again ngeveke ezayo. Siyabonga.